Hello, friends. Good morning. How are you all? Today, we are going to know about the software testing terms, different terms of software testing. So many people are called as types of testing or like that, but these are the testing terms. We will go one by one now. Smoke testing and sanity testing. What is smoke testing? It is a preliminary test to check whether the major and critical functionalities of the software application are working correctly after a new build or deployment, often referred as build verification testing. Smoke testing is done as soon as the first build comes from the development. As the testers will get the build from the developers, first smoke testing will be carried out. Now, what is sanity testing? A narrow and focused test to verify that specific functionality works as expected after minor changes or bug fixes in the software. Whenever the bug fixes are done, then again developers will give the build to the testers, then the sanity testing is done. This is not for the first time. If it is the first time, it is called smoke testing, but it is after retesting, it is called as sanity testing. Ensures the changes do not break the related functionality. Exploratory testing and ad hoc testing. Exploratory testing involves simultaneously learning about the software, designing tests, and executing them in an unscripted manner. The tester uses their knowledge of the system to explore the application and discover issues, often without predefined test cases. Now, exploratory test is done whenever we website or whatever software is there. While exploring that, then at that time only simultaneously they write the test cases and execute them. That is called exploratory testing. What is ad hoc testing? It is an informal testing with no formal planning or documentation, performed without any specific strategy, test cases, or predefined structure. It relies on the tester's creativity and intuition, also known as monkey testing. So ad hoc testing is done anytime in the software testing life cycle. Black box, white box, and gray box testing. Black box testing is the tester evaluates the software's functionality without knowledge of its internal workings. It's like coding. The focus is on the testing the system's behavior from the end user perspective. Black box testing is nothing but the functional testing, the object based testing actually. Now, what is white box testing? White box testing, also known as clear box testing or structural testing, involves testing the internal logic of the system, means the code. The tester has full knowledge of the software's code, structure, and architecture. Then only the tester can uh, do the white box testing. If he has knowledge of any language codes. Okay. Now, gray box testing is the hybrid testing approach that combines elements of black box and white box testing. It involves having partial knowledge of the internal workings of the system while still testing it from the user's perspective. This approach allows testers to design more informed tests without needing full access to the internal code base, as in white box testing. So, gray box testing is the combination of black box and white box. The tester should have the knowledge of white box. Static testing and dynamic testing. What is static testing? Static testing is the process of evaluating the software's code, documentation, or other artifacts without actually executing the code. Means like going through the documents, that is static testing. It involves reviewing and analyzing the code and related materials to identify issues such as bugs, vulnerabilities, or non-compliance with standards. Dynamic testing is the execution. Dynamic testing is the process of evaluating the software by executing the code and observing its behavior in real time. The purpose is to test the system's functionality, performance, and behavior during the execution. So, static testing is just going through the documents, that's it. And dynamic testing is real time execution of the testing. Positive testing and negative testing. Positive testing is the process of verifying that the system behaves as expected under normal, valid conditions. The focus is on testing with valid input data and ensuring that the software meets its specific requirements. This is positive. Negative testing, also known as error testing or failure testing, is the process of verifying that the system behaves correctly when it encounters invalid, unexpected, or incorrect input. The goal is to ensure that the system gracefully handles errors and does not crash or behave unpredictably. It's like positive testing. For example, we can take the Gmail. Okay, in Gmail, what we do is we enter the user ID and password and click the login button. So while entering the user ID and password, if they are invalid, if we test it by inputting the invalid uh, digits, then it will fail. That is negative testing. But if we provide the valid inputs and test it, that is the positive testing. Okay. Now retesting and regression testing. Retesting is the process of testing a specific defect or issue that was previously identified and fixed. It involves executing the same test cases that initially failed to ensure that the defect has been properly resolved. Retesting is done after the bug is fixed. Okay. Now, what is regression testing? Regression testing is the process of testing the entire system or significant parts of it after changes have been made, bug fixes, new features, or code refactoring. The goal is to ensure that the new changes have not adversely affected the existing functionality of the system. When we do the retesting, then the bug is fixed. But because of that bug fix, whether the other part of the application affects or not, to check that we do the regression testing. Now, one more thing is there, alpha testing and beta testing. Alpha testing is done at the developer's end and beta testing is done at the customer's client's end. That's it. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel so that you can get the notifications after posting my video. Thank you very much.